All right, this is your video for how to build your collage project. The first thing I'm going to start with is a 1-inch border on my manila paper, which I've already done here. You're going to need a glue stick, you're going to need your pencil, you're going to need some magazines, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is decide what I'm going to make, and you have to choose some kind of outdoor subject. And I'm totally it's up to you guys what you want to do as your outdoor subject, but for this demonstration, just to make things easy, I am going to do I'm going to do a beach scene. So I'm going to start out with drawing my land. Here is my water line, and I'm going to put the sun up here in the corner, okay? That's really all you need for your bones, okay? You don't need a whole lot in the picture. Now, if I wanted to go back and add maybe a little sea star right here or some clouds, I could do that, but for this demonstration, I'm just gonna stop there. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to push this aside for a minute, and I'm just going to look at the colors that I need. I'm going to need a yellow or an orange. I'm going to need a very pale blue. I'm going to need a darker blue, and I'm going to need a tan. No, I cannot just leave that tan just like the paper. I need to find actual sand color for that. All right, so those are the colors that I'm looking for. So I'm going to push this aside, and I'm going to start going through my magazines. And I'm just going to go, ooh, that's blue. I'm going to tear it out, and I'm going to make a pile, okay? There's some light blue. I'm going to tear that out, okay? I'm going to need, I don't really like that color, okay? So I just keep going and going and going through the magazines until I find the colors that I'm looking for. Oh, look, yellow. I'm going to use that, okay? Here's a light blue that I might be able to use. So far I haven't found any tan that I would like to, ooh, sand. I'm gonna keep on going until I find enough of all the colors that I'm looking for, so I can definitively say that I have enough to cover my original. All right, this might take you a little while. There's some dark blue, and there's even a little yellow in there. Notice I'm just tearing out whole pages. I'm not worried about whether or not I have enough or whether I have other colors on there. I'm just going to use them as full pages because it's a whole lot easier for me to keep track of whole pages than it is for me to keep track of oh, that's a good color. It's easier for me to keep track of that than it is for me to keep track of little bits of paper. There's a nice yellow. Okay. Oh, here's more of that light blue that I saw. Okay. There's some yellow. Okay. At this point, I feel like I have quite a bit. Do I have enough? I really don't know. So the best thing that I would advise you to do is keep going until you know you have enough, okay? Look, it's the same page as I had before. I'm gonna be able to use that twice. That's a good thing. Oh my gosh, is that sand? That's actual sand. Tearing it out because I might be able to use that. Okay. So I'm not looking for actual sand or actual sky or any of that. I am looking for colors that will work for the sections I'm filling in. Okay, at this point I feel like I have plenty, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those away. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to start grouping like colors. Now I've got 2 colors on this page, so the best thing to do is just go, whoop. Okay, there's my dark blue, there's my sand, okay? I have 2 colors on this one as well. Sand color, bluish green, dark blue, yellow, bluish green, yellow, bluish green, dark blue, actually dark blue and light blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this one up. Put the dark blue in the dark blue pile and the light blue over here. That would go with that one. That's gonna go with that one. Goes here. This might go in my, actually, that's more of my sand color. This might be more of my sun color. Bluish green, there's my sun color, my dark blue, and my dark blue. So I've got them all lined up. I don't really have enough sand color. I really think I need to go back and look for more of that. So this is when I would go on my hunting expedition for just the color that I need. I need something that will work for sand. Here's some sand. Okay. Now I don't want to mess around with like little bits just because it's kind of a pain to do it that way. It's easier if you can find a large portion of it in your magazines. Now notice that I just went through 2 magazines and found all the colors I needed. So if you're thinking you need like 10 or 12 different magazines, you don't need that much, okay? A couple of magazines is all you're gonna need for this project. Now, if they're crappy magazines, which I totally think they could be, then you might need more. All right, at this point, I feel like I have enough, all right? So I'm gonna keep them separated like this so that I know what color was what color. And I'm just going to put them aside and start working on one section at a time. I'm gonna work on the dark blue section first, just because it'll be better to show on camera what's happening. And so my dark blue is gonna go in this section here, all right? What I'll do is I will start out by tearing small pieces that are roughly the size of my fingernail, and I'm going to use either the straight edge or the curved edge to place this where I want it to go. Now I feel like that's probably a really good spot for it. Down here would also be a good spot because it kind of touches that line. So all I do, this is how I work when I do a collage. I keep my glue stick here, and as I rip the pieces, I rub it on the top of the glue stick and I place it where I want it to go. Now your fingers will start getting sticky after a while, and that's okay. It's not gonna kill you. Okay, that's a little too big, so I'm gonna tear that into 2 pieces, figure out where I wanna put it. One of the most important things while you're working on a collage like this is overlap, okay? Make sure that your pieces overlap each other so that all of your manila paper is covered in the end, okay? Now, I do have different blues here. So one thing that I need to make sure that I do is mix my blues, so that when this is all said and done, it kind of has a quality very similar to what the Impressionist work looked like, okay? And I'm trying to make sure that I'm using different blues just because it gives it something extra. Plus, if you end up running out of something, you will have enough to get through the entire section or the entire area. All right, so this is all I'm doing is overlapping and filling in as I go along the different areas of this collage. Oops, can't pick that one up. Okay. And notice that I'm trying to turn this in such a way that the curves follow the curves of the line that I created. And that is so that you get a more accurate look when it's all done. Okay, again with the mixing colors, making sure that I'm using these mixtures as much as I can so that I don't run out of that one specific color that was good. I don't know where I want to put that one. Maybe right there. Because then I can always come back with another and cover it up. There. Okay, and you're going to fill in that whole section that exact same way. And when you're all done, the goal is to get a nice clean bordered edge, okay? And make sure that the entire thing is completely full, no manila showing except for the 1-inch border.